Hello everyone. Welcome to week 7 of Kingdom Debrief. It was a massive week. On Kingdom Legendary War, aka Kingdom Legendary Fan Wars. So I'm here with the usual crew. We have Kirstie from New York, Swenson from Malaysia, Krysti from Australia, Natalia from Montreal.
Canada. I'm from Canada.
Yeah, Lucy from the United Kingdom, and our host Trish from Florida. Take it away, Trish.
Yes, so much to talk about this week. We got both of the mixed units with 3 groups, and the 3 groups for both the rap performances and the dance performances. And then we got all of the packages that were around those with the meeting each other, kind of figuring out what they were going to do, working together. So all that good stuff. So we're just going to dive right in. We still didn't have Chang Sub this week, but there were some funny moments even without him. So, but we're getting him back next week. So
we missed you. We did.
So we're going to start off with funniest moments. Frankie, kick us off.
Look, it was really hard for me to pick funniest and favorite moments this week because I was just happy and vibing the entire episode. It was a marathon episode, not at me up at like midnight still watching it last night. So but the couple of bits that made me crack up was Changbin lying to Hongjung about eating vegetables.
Yeah, that was funny.
The looks on everyone's faces when he said he ate vegetables. Chris just looked at him and rolled his eyes like, oh, mate, okay, whatever you reckon. And when Peniel told them all they could speak casually to him and they all had a freak out. Ian had a freak out.
Especially Ian.
Yeah, he could not speak casually. So they were the 2 funniest moments for me.
Okay. Kirstie?
Okay, so I have 3. They could be funny and also cute. The first one would be Bang Chan when Ming Hyuk patted his head and he froze for a moment. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. But I laughed a bit at him because then they said, oh no. Ming Hyuk was like, oh no, that was Changbin. He patted you. And his face completely changed. He was like, wow, it was you.
Changbin.
So that made me laugh. But I loved his flustered look when Ming Hyuk patted his back. Basically, once again, B2B backstage. They looked like they were filming a music video. It was super crazy because, when Peniel was on stage, they were like, "Whoa!" Jumping up and down and everything. I was like, "Are they shooting something?" And then in reverse, when Ming Hyuk was on stage, they were jumping up and down. Next, I was like, "Okay, are you filming something?"
It was so good.
And the way it was edited, it looked like it was part of the overall performance. I was like, okay, I like their vibe. Obviously B2B always living it up. I love the way they support each other and always freaking out and stuff. Especially Kwang with his facial expressions.
Yeah,
they always make me laugh. What else? I have one more. Is Hyunjun and Ming Hyuk. Oh, okay. So when they went to the cafe, I think it was JYP Cafe, and they had to sing to be able to do their orders. So Ming Hyuk starts singing his order, and then Hyunjun did the same. And then Han was like, okay, so can I have this and this and this? And Ming Hyuk strangles him. He's like, how dare you? I was like, oh my God, that was funny. Because he was like, okay, well, you got that down. Let me just order my drink. Yeah,
that was funny.
I just love the interaction.
And Han just hysterically laughing too.
Yeah.
Imagine being the cashier though.
Oh yeah. Swenson?
I had a couple as well. I'm gonna start with when the rap team were in YG's building. So Hui-young and Sunwoo were praising YG for being having stunning interiors and stuff, and Bobby's like, oh yeah, I maybe have earned enough to build them a toilet or something. Honestly, I don't think for the income that Bobby brought to YG, I don't think it's a toilet worth. I thought it's gonna be at least half of, I mean maybe not half, but you get the point.
There's a lot of big bands there probably.
Yeah, I was like, all right. And the fact that he pointed out it's the toilet that he built, I just can't with that. And yeah, and what else do I have? Funny bit. There's been this like Korean meme thing that I don't find a lot of international fan catching up on, but there's this Muyaho reference. If anyone, yeah, I totally didn't get it when they had like it was also Stray Kids. Someone in Stray Kids did a Muyaho reference, and I finally caught up to that this week, and you bet I spent like half an hour on YouTube searching up all the Muyaho's memes and stuff, and that was just funny. So search it up if you don't know what Muyaho is. It's surprisingly it didn't caught up among international fans, but I think it's just really funny, and I just find the whole Muyaho reference hilarious. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Krysti?
Okay, I've got long list of funniest. It was a great episode. I'm going to pick one though that made me laugh the absolute most, and that was when Minhyuk was they were all rapping their parts, and then Minhyuk was like, "We bleed the same, booyah!" Looks at his notes, and then the way through Racket paid out on him so much. They just kept going with the teasing him, and it was adorable. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was. Do you have another one you want to share?
Oh, I've got lots, but maybe Peniel's phone call to Ungwang and the ice cream teasing. The ice cream teasing.
He's like, "Well, I bought them all ice cream."
Peniel just wanted ice cream. Okay, Natalia.
So I have like two, and one is, it's not so much like a funny moment. I just sort of like the contrast of it was kind of fun. These are both like contrast things that I found were kind of funny. One was the rap team, what they ate at YG versus the rap team eating at JYP, where it was like at YG, it's like they're all eating like, oh, one's eating a salad, like Bobby's eating a salad, and one's just eating some chicken breasts, and one's eating some soup. And then it goes to like JYP, and they're just shoveling pasta in their mouths. They're like, yes. Great.
Yeah, where did Holmes put all that?
It's like pasta.
And the other one was the contrast between Hongjoon's reaction and Hangbin's reaction to Felix leaping, where Hongjoon was like, yeah, and then all you just see Hangbin being like, Felix,
don't get hurt.
Like such like dad energy, like, oh god.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I see in the chat somebody said Changbin telling Hongjoon he should eat vegetables.
Yeah.
All right, Lucy.
It's really hard to pick, to be honest. For comedy, for me, this episode, Han and Sungwoo and Bobby were just so funny. Just generally, they were just on it this episode. But when they were telling them about the judges, and he was just like, I just hope it's not our parents. That was his takeaway before they announced it. And also, just when they were practicing them for the rap, and Huyoung was just eating ice cream while the two friends, and then dropped some on the floor as well.
Clean it up.
Yeah, he's like, it's the first time here, and I'm just dropping it.
Well, a couple that, I think somebody else mentioned the one about like just Eungwang and Minhyuk just completely losing it whenever Peniel came out. That was funny.
Yeah.
But a couple others that I wrote down were when the Mayfly team was talking about doing EXO's Wolf, and the look on and the expression on Peniel's face when Wooyoung said that came out when I was in junior high school. It's like, oh crap, I'm old.
No, I just thought he was like junior high, huh?
Junior high. Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That just got real.
And then the other one was when the first Sunu and Bobby and Huyoung were getting ready to perform, and Bobby came by the SF9 room to pick up Huiyang, and he's like, "We're gonna go win 500 yang." I'm just like, "Okay, dude, you sound like you're in a historical drama because yang hasn't been used since 1902." It was funny
so much.
Yeah,
he was just his whole energy this episode, especially.
I loved it,
so
and that's
good.
one of my favorite things. Is we'll transition into that. Is just Bobby's like, "Hey, let's just have fun." I really think that he knows what's up with this show.
Yeah, he does. He 100% knows what's up.
Why
He's
even
a survival show
why
veteran.
even stress about winning? Let's just go out there and have fun. So, which I think is lost when you're in a competition show. You forget to have fun sometimes because you're so stressed out about winning. So, all right, so we'll just transition into some of our favorite moments of the week. Frank.
Yay, I did it.
Yay!
Thank you. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I'll put the slide up. Look, I loved was Sunu and Huiyang getting to do a style of rap that they don't usually get to do.
Yes.
And then them talking about how, especially Huiyang, he's he was in was it school rapper or whatever it was, and
they both were.
Yeah, they both were. So they that that style of rap, and they just don't. Especially Huiyang because SF9 doesn't do that kind of concept. For him to come out, and my God, don't get me started on that. Woo! Huiyang, wow. And also Hongjong, I thought it was really lovely when Hongjong was so excited to work with Mayfly team, because he usually has to work on his own. He usually sits on his own in a studio, and the way he was so happy he could actually get to sit with other people. And
he was so happy.
He was so happy.
Over the moon.
I've got a bunch of favourite bits, but that's for each performance. I'll go into them later when we talk about performances.
Okay. Kirstie?
Okay, so I have a couple as well. First of all, like Frankie said, I liked Sonu. He's from The Boys, right? I liked his performance for Full Dash. I really liked his stage presence. I think he was my favorite out of the three. I really liked how he rapped. I liked his stage presence. I liked the vibe that he had. He had his whole verse, his whole thing really went with the song. I really liked his part. I feel like he was able to shine, because he's also commented about that too. Like in The Boys, they have a certain look and a certain concept, and then he's not able also to do the type of rap that he was able to do in Kingdom. So that's cool. It was cool that he had that opportunity. So yeah, I think he was really cool. I really liked him. As well as Taeyeon's sword dance in his performance.
We stand sword dances on this show.
It was just
more
cool. Just bring on, just give me more sword dances.
Yeah, more.
Because I loved it. After I finished watching the episode, I went to Tumblr to look for gifs and stuff like that from his part, because oh my God, he was just amazing. His stage presence, the whole outfit, his makeup, everything was just perfect, and it was just so dynamic, just beautiful. He did amazing.
The way he caught that sword, it was just so impressive. Got it.
It was just 100%. Wow, he was.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
Did he catch that? Because it was sort of half off shot, but then it was no, he caught that.
Yeah, he caught it just in time. I was like, dude, that was awesome.
Because that could have gone wrong.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, because they threw it from the side. So I was like, oh, he caught it.
Because he wasn't even really looking.
No, he wasn't.
He was looking out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah, and then the sword came from the other side. I was like, so yeah,
it would have hit me in the face and left a big bruise or something.
For sure.
I'm a klutz.
I liked Minhyuk when I think they were in a studio, if I'm not mistaken, and he was saying that getting together with his donseng, with his hubeis, really helped him feel again what it's like to enjoy making music. Because he had commented on how he just thought about it as just another aspect of his work. And I really like that. He was like, oh, I was vibing, and you see him jumping and just being part of that young energy, that kid-like energy. Especially Sriracha, that they're all he told them in one moment, oh wow, you guys go crazy. when Bangchan started singing out of nowhere. You are my destiny. Like he started singing. You're like, wow, like you guys. Okay, so I really liked that. I really liked that he was able to like get that vibe and that feeling again from making music from his hubei's. It goes to show you, like, even if he's a sunbae, he's still open to like the experience and learning from, you know, his peers and the hubei. So I think it was really cool. I like that comment. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I wrote that part about when Min Hyuk said that at some point music became like a job. It wasn't funny. It wasn't as fun anymore. It's like that really resonated with me because I've gone through the same thing with my writing. You know, you get to a certain point, you're excited, you know, and then you get published and you get several books in and you're just like, and then you're on a grind because you're always having to produce the next thing, and then it sort of loses its luster. So that's so resonated with me. But Swenson?
Bit like YouTube.
Yeah, anything like that, you know, it starts out as maybe as a hobby, and then a career, and then suddenly you wake up one day and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And you have to make changes. But
yeah, I feel like having to dedicate a lot of time to like your hobby certainly takes a bit out of it, but that was also relatable to me. In fact, I had that as one of my favorite moments as well. And also, someone mentioned before, Hongjung told the team that he usually works alone, so he really appreciates that there's others around of the same passion. And I relate to that as well, because before joining KCDC as a crew member, I like dancing. I just didn't have people to groove along with, and I just felt like all this work I was just shouting into void without having any feedback. So that was really relatable for me, and I just found that to be one of my favorite moments. But also on dancing, it wasn't on the episode, but rather the full cam on YouTube. It's Wance's dance stage. There's this bit where who was it again? Taeyang had that burning paper, that paper burning on his hand. But what wasn't caught on camera was he actually caught the burning paper with his other hand, so that it doesn't fall onto the floor off shot. And I was like,
I wondered where it went. I was like, where did it go? Because they panned back so quickly. I was like, where's the burning paper on the floor? And it wasn't there. So
those robes are flammable. Those robes are flammable too, I'm sure.
yeah.
Are you telling me he's even cooler?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, apparently.
He definitely
I have to
is.
see
I
it.
mean,
Oh my God, running away from
we're talking about someone
SF9 member.
yeah, I mean, and also they were looking back to their like solo dance stages as well, and it just brought me back to like February or like March, and the sheer amount of I was just out of words. It was really impressive, even like 2 months into the competition, looking back. So yeah, I really liked what they had there. So those were 2 wow moments from the dance part, and then from the rapping part. Can I just say that for once, I actually like the lighting condition, especially for Mayfly's rap stage. I really like the.
They heard us. They're watching.
Really
They're definitely watching.
They're definitely watching. They knew they screwed up big time. They knew that they have to do stuff right. Not that they've done an exceptional job though, because like there's still some other really weird moments like lighting wise, but I really enjoyed the whole vibe and the whole like color palettes that were presented during Mayfly's rapping stage. So those were the wow moments for me.
Okay, Kirstie.
Okay, like similar to Frankie, well, and everyone, it was the interactions and how much, so the ones everyone's mentioned, so obviously, but all 4 groups, how much they just, awkward at the beginning, but by the end of it, just how much they were just loving working, and clearly just all of them were just, really enjoying working with each other, and we're delighted. Even Peniel's comment at the end, of course, where he was you know, this isn't over. Like, yeah, Mayfly won't die. Yeah.
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 Yeah, and then
Yeah,
DK was talking about the three of them doing stuff after this was over.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the other, it's sort of more of a sweet moment is when Bobby said that he could sort of see himself in the two younger members when they were talking about their feelings about rapping and that yeah.
And
really
on that
lovely.
same point, it was cool because like he sort of like stepped back and let them shine, writing their own lyrics, let them do the kind of rapping they wanted to do. And there was a funny moment when Bobby was like working on the music part of it, where he pushes back like this and rolls away from the screen. I was like, oh, look, it's Swenson. Sorry, Swenson.
It was Bobby, you know, saying don't call me Sunbay, but then he was such an influence on them, and was like, we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I
that
was so
totally showed in the performance too.
Right.
I was so
It's cool that he's
surprised.
able to lead them, but give them the space to like express themselves. I think that was really cool of him.
Well, it's because like he's been able to do it.
Yeah.
You know, he has all kinds of opportunities to do the raps he wants. I mean, he like, you know, one, show me the money, but it's like he's giving them the opportunity that they don't typically have in their groups. Nothing against their groups. It's just kind of stylistically what happens.
Yeah.
But
They're big groups with you know, they have you know, they're both really big groups. Yeah.
It's a really bold move for Bobby to do so as a senior or like as a Sunday in the group, and I really respect that.
he's a cool dude.
I love you, Bobby.
He is.
Natalia?
I know we've all talked about Bobby, but just his entire attitude. But it's not enough. Like, just his entire attitude this whole time. Like, he knows what's up at this point. He's like, I know that my group's not winning. He's like, I know my group's not winning this no matter what we do. But he's like, but these guys, they're new to this game. Like, they don't know how shitty it is quite yet. So he's like, as long as, so he like, it kind of reminds me of me when I'm talking to kids, because I'm like, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, so long as we all have a good time while we're doing it. And then I love how they were just calling him Bob Ross and his happy little rappers, like his happy little trees. And I was like, this is so Bob Ross. Like, it's just that energy.
Now I want to see him in a Bob Ross wig.
Right?
I saw somebody in the chat said that Bobby is a ray of light, and that's true. He's just he's always smiling, and it makes me smile every time he's on screen.
Yeah. He's amazing.
So was that too, Natalia?
No, I just love Bobby. That was just
She loves Bobby.
I just really love Bobby. I don't like literally. My brain is just like, that's it. That's all you get.
It's filled with Bobby. Last week our brains were filled with Kevin, and this week it's Bobby.
I think when Penny'll just walked into the studio and all of them were like, "Whoa, they sent you!" Because like I don't think anyone was expecting it.
No,
I don't think Penny'll himself was expecting it. He was like,
he's like, wait, yeah, the dance team.
He's like, haven't danced for 2 years, but here I am on the dance team. Why am I not on the rap team? These questions we ask ourselves, but here I am.
I have lots of questions.
Doing
about
my
that
best.
too. Next, after.
Okay, all right, Lucy.
I really loved. I mean, just Bobby in general with his like mentor and other things.
Too much.
Also, just somewhere the whole time. And when like Bobby asks for their numbers so that he can get in touch for practice, and then like he gets it and does a little fist bump to the camera.
He was fanboying hard.
He was living his best life. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
He was so good. And also just Am I allowed to just say like DK for a favorite thing as well? Because
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
DK.
That beautiful outfit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stepping in like the Chaebol, just strolling in. Yeah.
But what's his name? I think is Juyong, from the boys.
Yeah.
Isn't his?
Jion.
Yeah, his same reaction was mine. Like when he walked out, I was like, "Whoa, that outfit! He looks great!" Like the
Yeah.
whole thing, like
Yeah.
the whole look. That was a concept. I was like, "Wow."
Okay, well, a couple of things on my list that nobody else has mentioned was SF9's reaction when they got ranked first in the second round.
Yeah.
And I was just like, after that first
Thank
round
you.
where they
So
got no
happy.
votes, you know, and then, you know, being ranked last. And of course, I mean, they're still overall, they're toward the bottom. But in that second round, they won it. And it was like, that was that set of judging for that round. Like, you know, all of us, I think last week were pretty much like SF9 and B2B. We're like, and that's how it ended up. You know, SF9 was first, B2B was second, and there wasn't very
Thank
much
you.
between them. So they kind of, at least they got that right. Let's see, another thing. I really liked how both Minhyuk and Peniel had these grand entrances in their performances. And it was just like, and like that one with Peniel, it's like that was giving me like Mad Max vibes.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
just
it was
like,
hot. It was hot.
Yeah.
and then just Eunkwang and Minhyuk absolutely losing their shit. And you know, when Peniel came out, I think Eunkwang's eyes got this big. He was like, ah! But so those were a couple.
Yeah, Peniel, like I just posted just Peniel and just the I love R meme.
Oh,
Like
the leather vest and the studded mask, holding man on chains.
but also,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, new kink unlocked.
We weren't prepared for that at all. We
when
weren't
the
prepared for that.
Mayfly
Yeah.
when the Mayfly rap team
Oh, that was funny.
were going along and they were like noticed that Minhyuk hadn't come out yet. And Insung was like, isn't he just going to come out at the end like a final boss?
Of course he is.
He literally came through those doors.
Can we talk a moment about Minhyuk's outfit?
Oh my god!
And his hair.
Beautiful.
I didn't watch I watched the performances before I watched the episode. So I don't watch the episode live because I haven't got time to watch it twice. And I like to watch the full performances before the episode, so I get the surprise. So I had no idea what Minhyuk's outfit was going to look like. I didn't even know I completely forgot he was in the rap team because I only saw, I don't know, I just somehow forgot. I don't know if he was, when he came out, I just literally said, what the Minhyuk? It's like, and I screamed all over Twitter, like that was just, my breath was taken away.
Yeah,
He looks amazing.
he does that.
Just every single thing about him. Yeah.
Love it.
I think
I love how
everybody's
insane
coming
his
out of this show being in love with
paintbrush
Minhyuk.
I know Minhyuk literally has just got everybody else in love with him on the show.
Yeah.
Just not even low key, just
They
high
should just
key.
rename the
everybody.
show Minhyuk Love
key.
Fest.
Yeah.
We're all on board.
Yeah.
Sign us up.
It's a fan part.
Okay, well, let's-
fanboy.
Oh, that's going to live forever.
It is.
Please tell me you kept that, Lucy.
It might be here somewhere.
I noticed you don't have anything hanging up this week.
No,
I'm
I
a little
don't. I couldn't
disappointed.
decide.
I expected
Oh,
Peniel to be back there.
Yeah, or DK. It would have been him or
DK.
DK. Or maybe we should have like done both. Yeah.
I took the liberty of getting some stuff.
Yes,
from
this.
Yeah.
Printed
yeah.
that out behind me.
Oh my god!
I cracked up when I saw that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's transition into our favorite performances of. I forget to pause for the.
Yeah, I know. That's why I just sort of barged through with my.
You even told me that. I'm like, oh,
I know.
in one ear and out the other. So I mean, it's hard to like choose, but maybe if we don't want to say our favorites, we just say kind of what we liked about each of the performances. If you would prefer to do that, so
I will do that. I will be doing that because. All right. Firstly, I have a WTF moment. I don't understand how they made these teams. Like, why was there only one rapper from SF9 when they've got a whole duo? Why was there only one dancer? Why was there only one dancer from SF9?
I am confused.
Why was
SF9 has 4 rappers?
Yeah. Why did the boys, who is basically a dance, they're a dance troupe. I don't understand, because this is where it's one team who was so disadvantaged. This is a note I had. It's like their team was doing, I feel like they were concentrating more on the art and like the art of it. Not that I'm not saying anyone was better than the other, but even the rap team
took different routes.
The rap team was very. The rap team was very. I just felt like it was very organic, and the three of them were just having a good time and getting back to the basics and doing the kind of rap they love. Whereas the Mayfly team, everything was a massive spectacle.
Yeah,
and I don't even know why. Like Songwire was in the dance team. Well, he's down as a vocalist. He doesn't like. He's one of the only ones in 80s who on the website is not, because they don't have dancers, they have them as performers. Songwire's down as a vocalist. Why was he in the dance team? Because they wanted to make it a massive spectacle, you know. And I just feel like, I don't know, I don't understand. So that's my first statement. I do not understand why half the It's One team's members weren't included. That was very weird.
Very strange.
It's interesting though, because obviously they've got lots of people in the vocalist team, so they weren't confused about only having one member, because then you can see that their vocalist team is everybody else. So
but it wasn't. They weren't
doing that. Yeah,
I don't think it was everyone else though.
No, but it's more than one person.
Yeah, it was more than one person there.
So they weren't confused about only having one person.
Only having one. And I think you think
But then it's like the opposite next week, because the other vocalist team only has 3 people, because you only have Wang Sung Min and Jung Ho.
That's what I thought. I thought, was that some kind of rule? But I don't think it was, because some people
it's literally just what
half of the boys aren't in anything. So
yeah.
Anyway,
did they like decide amongst themselves, or like
how did they have?
I think
that's what it seemed like.
I just
maybe it was based on, I don't really know, because it was all very mysterious.
Yeah.
Listen, this show tells us nothing. This show tells us absolutely nothing about the processes that go on behind any of these, and we're just sort of, that's right, you know it.
But we get to see the eating establishments at the companies, though. So
that was. Because they're cafes that you can actually go. Some of them are cafes you can actually go to. I think JYP. So they're probably trying to just do some advertising. All right. So I think the one that got me in the guts that I really enjoyed was Bobby Huyoung and Sonu. I because the beat was just so, like, when I first got into K-pop, I used to listen to so much hip hop, and I sort of, my taste broadened as I the last 5 years. But then I remembered why I used to listen to so much of the hip hop side of J Park and stuff like that. But I just loved, actually I liked the way the two rap teams also paint and color was the theme for both of them. In the end,
they both really sort of similar. Do your own thing.
Wasn't it? That was such a coincidence, right? So as I said, Minhyuk was a huge surprise to me in that part. I just got WTF Peniel when he came out with this. And what I also I also really liked how there was a little bit with Felix and San, a very athletic part where they laid back on each other, thing. And then I realized they're both Taekwondo boys. They both have black belts in Taekwondo, and I thought it was really good seeing them do that really athletic stuff together. I didn't know if that was part of it, but it just struck me. It's One's a full dash, just was so vibey, was so natural, and just they looked like they were having such good time. And as I said, Huyoung and Sonu being able to do that kind of rap was just, I was just loving it. I had a huge smile on my face the whole time. And the It's One, the dance team was stunning. It was just stunning. It was beautiful. When Jiyoung came out, Woo!
in the sedan
With that-
chair.
with that chair. But then I knew straight away that they weren't going to win because, and you think the boys would know that you have to put on a spectacle, and it was a spectacle.
You
but
don't
it just-
know. We don't know who won the dance.
Yeah.
well, we don't know who
yet.
won.
No, not
But
yet.
I feel like I just
feel like we know.
We know people
feel like
go
we
for
know.
numbers, and I feel like that's why the other team included so many members, so it would be like a massive spectacle. Anyway, I loved all of them, but in my heart, it's one Full Dash.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Full Dash, anybody else hear something else when they listen to that song?
I didn't
Oh.
notice.
Oh, F
No?
that. F that.
No.
F that.
Okay.
I know it's
Oh, the
Yes, he does.
chorus.
When you say it,
When you say it,
yeah,
it
I think
sounds like
it
something-
felt
the
like
way
a diss
it's
track
written
to
as
me.
well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Full
Ah.
yeah, never
Full
mind.
dash. Full dash.
Yes,
Three
profanity.
words.
Katie,
Three
They
words.
know, they know.
it was intentional. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree with the people in the chat. But anyway,
Mm.
yep. Okay. See, I'm not the only one who heard
Yeah,
what was
yes.
going on there.
You're-
Even in one of the previews, it was subtitled that way as well. It wasn't subtitled Full Dash. It was subtitled as what you hear. Like,
Oh, really?
yes.
Oh.
One of the previews
Well,
that I
and
don't
again,
know
I
where I
think
saw
that
it, but it
was-
had it. I was like,
I think again that was part of the like, yeah, we know what's going on here, and here's what we think about it. Plus, it very much fit in with, they were getting back to that kind of grittier rap style, like they were just going for it. So
yeah,
but anyway,
well, layered back.
I also feel like the minute Huta showed up, it was all over. So, well,
Final boss.
You're not wrong.
Like,
he is straight up dissing Mnet at this point. I do not
like, aren't
disagree.
we all though? Aren't we all? Like, but like Bobby's in a position that he can do that and nothing bad will happen to
Exactly,
him. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, Kirstie.
Okay, so I actually do have a favorite. This episode wasn't that hard for me, finally, because I always have a problem. I always have 2 or 3 favorites, but this episode I did it. I have a favorite. Okay, so yay for me. Okay, so my favorite overall was Taeyeon, DK's, and Joohyun's performance. I loved it from beginning to end. I love
table
just
flip.
the transition. I love each and every individual part. I love what they were wearing, and I like that all the symbolisms that were behind the performance, like how he was starting to change after the queen was killed. I like the colors they use because you have red, blue, and purple, and you see obviously it was like the purple divided into 2 other pieces of the same person, like how colors are made. So I love that. I was like, oh yes,
There we have colors again.
blue, blue, and that makes purple. So it's the same. I was like, oh, symbolism. I like the colors and all that. Yeah, I just thought it was just very beautiful, but it's very well put together. And I love all the elements, how they came together. And I love that each of the members were able to showcase their talent and different style. I loved it. And Taeyeon, he was awesome, amazing. And I just loved the sword play. It was just really cool. And DK, he did his part. I loved the part where DK, because you could really see how the king was just losing it. He was able to portray the transition. Joohyun did really cool, that lustful feel. I was like, oh, okay, so we're seeing the change of the king. And then when DK's part is oh, okay, so he lost it. So I just really thought it was just very well put together. I think it was beautiful. The story was conveyed well. It was just my type of performance. I love symbolism. I love when there's more to the story than just concrete, it makes you think, etc., etc. So yeah, their performance was just it was my type of performance. I loved it. Everybody else did super cool. The Sonu Young is his name, and Bobby. I love that it was very chill, laid back. It was all about the rapping. It was more about what they had to say versus the other elements. I just really it was really cool. I like the chill vibe, and they had a very nice dynamic in between. All you could see they were having fun. They were playing off each other. It was really cool. The other group, I forgot the name of was it Paint? I think they have it as Paint.
Playing with paint.
Yeah.
That group I really liked their individual parts as well. And I liked how lively it was, especially the last part with the colors and all sprinkled out. It looked really beautiful on camera. It's really cool. And Minhyuk looked really cool. I mean, Minhyuk looked pretty good.
He
I was
did.
like, oh my god,
He did look pretty good. They were looking pretty good, you know.
And I love that he came out like a final boss. That's literally, I was like, I'm playing Final Fantasy. Oh, final boss, Minhyuk. Wow. I loved it. And then I loved how coordinated his paintbrush was with the with the floor, the animation of the floor. When he went like this, it went straight. I was like, oh, he did it. That was cool. And Wolf was cool as well. I loved what they were wearing. I love the storytelling. I love the ripping and all that crazy stuff. Peniel looked really cool. I was freaking out too. I was like, oh, look at Peniel. Go, Peniel. You can do it. I was rooting for him. Like, you can do it. You can do it, Peniel. He looked really cool. Like, everybody. And then my favorite part of that one performance was Woo Young when he goes climbing up. And
that was cool.
At the end. I was like, oh my God. Like, Woo Young center. Like, he looks always so cool. Like, he looks super cool. And then Felix running. I understood Bang Chang. I understood it because I was like, oh my God, please don't fall. Please don't fall. Please don't fall.
Felix. Just his face like Felix.
I was like, oh my God. But he jumped. Everything was perfect. He got Woo Young as well. Yeah, it was super cool. Like, everybody I think did well, super cool. But my faves are Taeyeon, DK, and Trio's performance.
Okay, Swenson.
Nice. I feel like we're being put in a position to. It's apple and orange again. It's purely on like personal preference.
Most definitely,
they're so wildly different.
They're like on both ends of the spectrum. So it's we're really well fed to start with, and I'm just gonna point out parts of the performances that I like. So for Full Dash, that brought me back to 2015, 2016, where like because back then I didn't start watching it, but my flatmate did. So I didn't know a lot about Bobby back then as well, because it was like their first year of debut, and I was like, oh, okay, this is something that I've never seen before in K-pop. And then fast forward 6 years later, Bobby still got that vibe. He's totally owning that stage. So that I thought Full Dash was the performance itself stayed true to like the essence of hip hop stage, like free, spontaneous, and like all vibing around. I really liked the fact that we're getting these kind of stage performances on Kingdom. That was it's really like a fresh breath of air in a way, and because in comparison, what we get from coloring is a very manufactured way of stage performances. So it will surely appeal to like a lot of younger audiences because it sounded more like K-pop rather than just pure rap and like hip hop and style. So it's up to our personal preferences really. And the fact that I got like chills when watching the dance performances. I felt like Wolf could have very well been like a reborn stage as well, because it wasn't it's a total like remake of Wolf, and they're sort of like paying homage to like such a legendary song, staying true to like the legendary war theme, whatever. So I really like that as well. And the final bit of Wolf as well, I really liked how San was the center, and they had like they took inspiration from 80s Hala Hala dance performance. Like
I saw that, yeah.
That his facial expression just was just so captivating.
80s facial expressions are always perfection.
Yeah,
they embody what they're trying to portray.
Nothing.
They're actors too.
And the fact that Leah Kim pointed it out as well, I was like, yup.
Yeah, Leah says it.
Yep.
Yeah, so those are like my favorite parts of each performances. But if I were to choose again, it's gonna be Full Dash, because it's like nothing else It's never been done before. It's really refreshing to see that, and they don't need to win really. What they need is a mixtape release on Spotify. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for that.
Yes.
Give us all the songs.
Give us all the songs. Yeah.
Okay. Krysti?
Okay, my turn. And I unlike Kirstie, I cannot choose. I could for all the reasons everyone said, they're all so different. And the bits I loved out of each one, everyone's already said that's exactly it. Just all different and what they brought, absolutely. So instead, one of my favorite bits was the Who-Bays losing their shit in the back. They were so relatable. Like they were sort of trying to, the first two performances, maybe. I think, even though I think when Minhyuk came out, that was when they started in the second performance. That's when they started to like just let themselves go. And but the last two performances, they just weren't even holding back. They were like, one of the girls in the back was holding up the sign that was like "Day Back" or something. And who's the boy from Mirai who's just the reaction king? He was
Donkyo, my baby.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
Same boys, same, yeah. So I was the Who-Bays.
That was funny.
Yeah, they weren't even trying to look, collected at the end. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How are they going to be next week with the two vocal performances? Because they'll have really loosened up by then. Yeah.
Okay, Natalia.
So recently we were recording another show for Road to Hagdom, and I got a lot of flack because I am not a Wolf fan, okay?
Oh, God,
people were all up in my business, and I want to say I still think Wolf is a dumb song, okay? But they killed it, and I'm saying this is like a huge EXO fan, like super EXO fan. However, this isn't even related to like favorite moments, but as I always do, I watch this and force my husband to watch it next to me because he can't escape me. And he was like just sort of casually watching it, and then he started reading the translations of the lyrics to Wolf, and he's like, those can't be the actual lyrics of this song. That's awful. And I was like, yes, they are. The lyrics are incredibly dodgy. Incredibly dodgy. However, the performance I loved. So the performance had to be good to get me over the fact that I think Wolf is the dumbest song.
If you think the lyrics are dodgy, there's a drama they put out. That time.
So did you just see Corey in the chat? She said that Wolf is her favorite EXO song.
And that's fine. I don't think that.
Okay.
Oh, you're back at it again. I see.
Mike's here.
And I'm not saying that
Natalia,
other people.
I'm an EXO as well, and I dislike the song.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Thank you.
There's
Thank
gonna be
you. It's
songs
okay.
you like, and there's gonna be songs you don't like. It's okay.
Different things. But listen, Mike, I'm not getting into this again with you, sir. Keep it in the comments. But like, so the performance must have been great for me to actually really enjoy it. So, and also Peniel's arms.
Peniel's arms.
But I must say, like, I really, really, really loved the Playing with Paint or whatever the title was. I thought it was absolutely a fantastic rendition. Well, I said they're all fantastic, okay? I loved every single one of them. But also, the same problem that exists with them not being given any sort of rubric that they're aiming for continues, because how are you supposed to pick a favorite when they're so vastly different? But they're all fantastic. And they're great. They're great.
Okay, Lucy.
How do I choose?
We understand, Lucy.
I spent so much time rewatching them, and I was like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I think both the rap ones were incredible. The hooks will be in my head forever.
Yeah.
From both of them. Like, they were both so catchy. I think just because out of how interesting it was and compared to like other performances we've seen, I think Full Dash just wins for that, but only just. And the dance ones, they were just so different.
Yeah.
They were just too different for me to pick them apart. One went for more of a narrative option, which was beautiful, and I think that's why they went for less members, because it's easier to have that emotional and like for the theme that they went for. And then the all-out wolf pack, that was the wolf performance was amazing, and went for a completely different take. It's just so hard. I can't separate the dance ones at
chalk
all.
and cheese. Yeah.
Okay.
One of them didn't sing at all. The trio didn't sing at all. It was just pure
Yeah, that's
dancing.
right. It was all about dance.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna save my favorite for last, but I have a couple things to say about some of the other performances. I liked the two rap performances for different reasons. I thought they both had good messages, but the messages, they were somewhat alike. It's kind of like, everybody just do your thing, you know, be yourself. But it was sort of like the Full Dash one was basically, we're here, we're going to do our thing. You can like it or not, we don't care, which is a very freeing sort of attitude to have. While the playing with paint one, like, had so many layers to the message. And like, I just want to say, Bang Chan's lyrics and his part, I'm just going to read those because I thought this was great. It says, a beautiful mess created by misfits, a moment of silence while we paint this shit. Don't matter black, brown, pink, yellow, white, all the colors of the world, all united we ignite. And I loved that. I thought that was a great message for the times we're living in right now. And I like how Hongjun was kind of at the beginning, because the Thrubacha guys had this idea about, you know, mixing colors and all that kind of thing. And then Hongjun brought in sort of like the social aspect of it, you know, social commentary, which I really liked. So I really liked the message of their performance. And then, you know, of course, both dance performances were great. XO was my very first group, and I'm like Mike. I like a wolf, and
you're allowed.
It's okay.
It's all right. When I tweeted about it today, I was like, this was a bold move because fans are very divided on this song. But my favorite was the performance of DK, Taeyang, and Jian. That performance was everything I love.
Beautiful.
First of all, that's the three dancers in this competition that I just love their style. That's just the kind of dance that I am drawn to. It's beautiful, it's elegant, it's just more flowing. I like that style more. That they brought in sort of the Korean culture and history. It's just like, that is right up my alley. It's like, I have a history minor from college. I have, like, as far back as I can remember, like when I was a kid, it was, well, back in the, you know, dark ages, was when like all of those like historical miniseries were on TV, like Shogun and the Thornbirds, and, you know, just all that stuff
the Thornbirds.
with Marco Polo.
The Thornbirds.
And just, I have always been really drawn to history and the it's not costume, it's historical traditional clothing. And so, like, whenever I see stuff like that, I always sort of like, okay, I want to dig into the real history of this. So I went and researched King Wildson, who they were talking about.
Oh.
And it was like Taeyang was, he was like the worst tyrant in the Joseon era, which lasted like 500 years. And so Taeyang was embodying the tyrant part of his personality. And then Jiyeon was sort of like, he sort of, it was like very much into pleasure, kind of bacchanalian, and and then there's the part where he's descending into madness with DK's part, and DK's expressions.
DK played that.
Yeah,
so
he was just he looked like he
my
was going
God.
insane. But it's sort of like you saw him, and even like outside of them, you saw in the background you had like the two backup dancers who look like they are executing the queen. I mean, it's a little different in real life. She was actually poisoned. A lot of the time they forced them to drink poison, but that doesn't look as good on stage.
So not as dramatic. It's not as dramatic. Yeah.
So I just loved everything about that performance, and sort of like from the very beginning when Jiyeon is being carried out in the sedan chair and he's got the wig on, and it's like I was like, oh, and now I want to go watch Harang again. But then like all the gasps from like the judging room, you're just like, ah, and I was like saying, but so yeah, I really loved that one. And it was interesting. After that, I think it was when Chanu from Icon said, well, if we lose after this, I'm just going to go home. So, but I mean, again, it two different styles, and it'll come down to the personal preference of the people who are in the judging room. So, anyway,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I've just remembered because I've written it down, but I just spotted it. When Wooyoung started their rap thing, and Wooyoung just went, he's so sexy.
Yeah.
That's a whole mood.
Yeah.
That was all
It's a mood.
I was surprised when he revealed that he was actually just 1 year older than Sunwoo, because his presence was like,
Wooyoung does not look like that at all.
Yeah.
It's
just been the last couple of years though where he's looked more mature. Because when I first got into SF9, he looked much younger.
Yeah, his cheekbones are starting to.
No, yeah.
And he's been working out. So,
yeah.
But anyway. Well, speaking of the judging pool, so I was still a little confused about, but I think I've come to the conclusion that a lot of people think that the judges we saw were only for this round. They haven't said one way or the other, so we don't know yet again. I do know that like from the beginning, sort of, and Mnet has said, this panel of experts from the industry and that kind of thing. So you sort of had a certain level of experience expectation. Now, this is nothing against the members of those young groups. I feel like they had zero say in whether or not they did this or not.
For sure.
And they do bring a certain, they bring a different viewpoint, things that appeal to the younger fans now. So there's some validity in having, a wide variety of experience in the judging pool. If it had not been, from the beginning, them saying it was a panel of experts. If they had just said it's a panel of judges, that would be different.
Couple
words
of
matter.
experts and some kids. Yeah.
I'm going to assume they're different. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
No, I thought that at first, but then I was rewatching it again this afternoon, and I noticed that when they were introducing Dong Hae, Shin Dong, and Leah Kim, they referred to them as guest judges, special guest judges, and then sort of seems to suggest that from there they were taken from the pool of judges they've been using.
I don't know.
But
I wish they would be more clear about this stuff so that everybody's not left to assume. There have been great memes this week.
Oh, the memes have been they've been fantastic.
Yes, it's been beautiful.
agree with Sad Panda that Hui Young deserves the world. So what are y'all's thoughts on, this special judging pool for this week?
Those kids are being set up to fail right now. They
Well,
are literally being
saw
screwed over.
Such horrible
being
things
set up.
on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're
I
being
saw such horrible
set
things.
up.
They're being used as shields for impact.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And it's like they don't deserve this. Like they're just,
They're adorable. They're
They're
sweet.
adorable, but it's just not appropriate.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
And it's like you know that Mnet is like, okay, you have to do this, or looks like you won't be getting time on our comeback shows. Like,
Right.
like the actual experts that they had made sense. Right?
Yes.
You have 2 members of Super Junior who've been in there forever. You have Leah Kim, who's like a world famous choreographer. You have Shinjidong Tiger. You have some that makes sense.
Mono Tree.
Yeah. We had there was like the guy who's a music critic. The guy who's the CEO of Brave Music. I mean, all those made sense. That's the kind of people I expected.
Yeah.
But
kids.
I feel sorry for the members of Murray and BDC and Tribe and Weekly.
Yep.
So
because they're just starting out, right? And they're like somehow, and because we all know how fan culture works and that people can be so insane about their faves or whatever. And so they're here to say, oh, we think this fave is better than this fave. And that's just a way to start fan wars. And it's such bullshit. And
I have this like fantasy that somebody with a crap ton of money will start a music network in Korea that has nothing to do with competition. It'll just be performances.
The dream is alive, but unfortunately,
I know.
But that
I might actually try to shed some different light on this issue, because I've not been living off Twitter as much, and I've been following a few other forums, and from there I was hearing a very different sound, because I thought Mnet at least tried to bring in some Hubeis who rookies, seeing that they are like the representative of Gen Z, which is also like the main driver of this whole K-pop industry as well. So having them in there would, I mean, I don't know. People, there's definitely people like questioning like the proportion of guest panelists in there. Why are we getting 20 plus Hubeis versus like not even 10 real like actual not qualified, but like in a way more
in the industry sort of thing.
We're not getting any like big names in the rap part of the industry there to judge. So
that was something that
I should have had Simon on.
after you.
I just felt like having rookies in the group in the panelists would help Mnet's image, but they fucked up the whole ratio thing. If we're just
the ratio,
like a group or two, it's gonna be absolutely fine, because.
Or even just like a member from a few groups, like one member, like the leader from a few different groups, and to just be like, and actually phrase it like that, to be like, have like the new young generation in to see what the young people like.
Again,
but it's not
an issue of communication, and they're crap at it.
But Mnet communicate.
Mnet.
I just feel
I
like
don't think so.
Yeah, it almost feels like, how they had trouble getting enough groups to like participate in the show. It feels like they had trouble getting enough judges, and they were just like, well, here, you're in the building today. Here, come judge.
Well, for this one, because they were going to be filmed and their reactions televised, they obviously, had trouble.
Yeah, Lana in the chat says that would make sense if they brought in some Queendom participants.
And actually, some of the members did mention that in the episode. They were like, "Oh, is it going to be some Queendom participants?" And actually, Queendom did bring in people that weren't even in the industry at all to do some guest judging at one point, like an old man and things like that. That weren't K-pop fans.
But see, that also right?
Yeah.
Because like if you get like the everyday person to be like, well, this is what, you know, someone who doesn't even like K-pop are like, but that's not like, it just feels like they're setting these rookie groups up
They
for
definitely
failure.
were setting them up.
And it's like,
Well, it feels
it's
like
it's like,
Yeah,
and
it
that
feels
was like, okay,
sorry,
we can't get any of these people to like any of the groups on our show to say anything mean about each other. What if we push the buck onto these newbies who don't know any better yet? Like,
yeah, it just feels like it sort of like they're using them as the shield to take the heat whenever fans of any of these 6 groups don't like how things shake out.
Yeah.
So, yep, that.
Yeah.
True. Facts.
I was thinking as long as they don't give away who they voted for, because this is the other thing too. Is, so we don't know, you know, who they're voting for. So how can the fans attack them if they don't know if they voted for Mayfly or the other? So as long as they don't give that away,
Oh yeah.
Mnet finds a way. They find a way.
Hopefully not.
You know,
I'm hoping that it doesn't, but it's hard to have faith.
I'm glad that we're actually
I wrote a couple
nearing
of
the final,
things about
all of this is gonna be finally over.
Okay, Kirstie.
Is it good now? Okay. I wrote a couple of things about the whole judging thing. So first of all, I wish it would have been a little bit more balanced. I would have done either 50-50 or 60-40. 60 leaning to more like the sunbays and the experts or people in the field versus like the rookies. I would have gone 50-50 or 60-40. And also I feel like some of the experts were some of the experts were missing. I would have liked to see a vocal coach or a mentor or a top vocalist, because next round we have vocals. And I would have liked to see, you know, either somebody who is a mentor to the idols or like vocalists, top vocalists who also mentors. I think that would have been great. I would have added another choreographer as well. Leah's amazing, but she always when she goes to like, I always see her in shows, there's always somebody else as well that's always with her. Like she has a lot of colleagues that she works with. And I think like always like 2 or 3 choreographers are really cool because they all have their own experience and point of view. And yet I feel like it's always like best to have like 2 or 3 so they can like fill it out, like give more commentary on that. And also a rap mentor would have been good. Somebody who is or somebody who raps in the industry. Even though I know a lot of times it's pretty hard because they are reluctant to go on like reality shows and things like that. But like a rap mentor
I wonder why. I wonder why they would be reluctant to go on a show of this nature.
That's why when I was writing down like the people I wish would have been there in the expert panel, like expert part, the rap mentor, I was like, if it were possible, because you know, if you're gonna be giving like certain performances, we have vocal, dance, and rap. There should be somebody in the judging that, you know, is at least an expert on it. I know. And also like the Who Base, I personally don't have a problem with the Who Base being there.
No, I don't either.
And you know why? Because being so long, like as a fan, as a K-pop fan for so long, the Sunbays that you see now, they were once Who Base. And they were once praised for being like super talented and having so much potential. Sunbays telling them, hey, you're even better than me. You've seen things different than me. You have potential. You have a talent that I don't have. And so I see those Who Base, which I followed for so many years, and now they're Sunbays, and now they're in the place of, you know, they're giving critiques and they're helping others. So to me, even though they're Who Base and, you know, they need experience and they're still learning, I feel like Who Base also have something to give. Like a lot of people are Who Base. A lot of people are Who Base because they haven't given the opportunity, not because they don't have the talent or the potential.
And it's not like and they've been training
like,
for years themselves.
So I feel like the Who Base, they have their own input to give, like from their own perspective. I feel like that's why I don't have a problem with the Who Base being there. I feel like it's like a super opportunity to them to see their Sunbase perform and also get to hear like what the experts have to say, because that they can also take back to their groups and everybody else can you know, learn from it. But I would have balanced it a little bit more as 60-40. and had more experts that had to do with what we're watching. I needed a vocal, somebody with vocals, another choreographer, and somebody with rap. I don't know who would have said yes.
Somebody in the chat said epic high.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
it could have been even like it didn't have to be a expert. It could have been a sunbae too, because a lot of sunbaes are in the industry and they know how things work, and they know a little bit more of the things that have to be present when you are performing. So I feel like everybody there had something to contribute. But I think it was the balance was off, and also the way that it was worded, like this person and what they're. I just feel bad for the Who-Base because like. Come on. I know they're gonna be hated on, but I just feel bad for them because like they're just there to like have that experience, and maybe they had a chance, like maybe they couldn't say no. Who knows like what happens behind them. But like, and also
I don't think we need to make
people. Like we here are reasonable people, so we understand the value of having them there.
Like,
however,
everybody is a learning experience.
I've been in this K-pop shit for a while, and I have seen. I've been on Twitter also for a while. I know Twitter. I know how the people their parents did not raise them right. Let's just say that. And so,
It's just, I feel like Twitter a lot of people get swept up in Twitter, and it just blows up and goes the wrong direction. People get like the heat of it. People who are innocent in all this tend to get the heat of it, and then the ones doing things in the back are like, ha ha ha, we got you guys, and just throwing things in the flame. And you see people like it shouldn't be hated on. But that's Twitter and social media.
I'm just happy that the voting format that we get this episode, I'm just happy that it happened this week instead of during the final round, because it would have
a
tsunami of like backlash as well.
I do like that we're getting.
We've got another episode of stuff to come yet, so
I do like how with these unit performances we are getting to find out who won them immediately without like the fan mess. So all right, so we've been going for a while, so let just kind of looking ahead to next week, we're gonna get the results of the dance performances we saw this one of these days I'll remember those. So we didn't get to see who won the dance, so we'll probably see that first thing next week, and then we will have the two vocal performances. So we've got Seungmin, Eunkwang, and Jongho on one side, and then the other side is really packed. You've got Sangyeon, Nu from the boys, and then there's Jaeyoon from SF9. Icon is June and Jinhwan, and I'm missing somebody. There were 6 of them.
Was it
In song, yeah. So that'll be really interesting to see those. And then we will have, then everybody will go back to their normal teams, and we'll get the No Limit performances. And that's where, they can do whatever. And we see a couple of big name girls coming in to help out. We've got Mion from G-Idol, however you say that. G-Idol, with BTV, and then Lisa from Blackpink with Icon. That is going to bring in the blinks next week.
Yes, it is.
Most definitely.
So those will be some, and then Chang Sub is back. I'm really excited about that.
I've missed him.
I've really missed him.
I've missed him.
Not just because he's funny, because like they're already, like the smallest.
There.
And then it's like,
so when they lose a member, it's extremely obvious that someone is missing.
I would have loved to see his face when Peniel walked out.
I know. I thought the same thing.
It would have been
so funny.
That is going to go in the Hall of Fame reactions. Just the look on Eunkwang and Minhyuk turns around and like hits the wall. It was so funny. But what are you all most excited about next week?
I'm really intrigued because the vocal performances, song selection, they've both gone for female soloists works. Because there was Taeyeon Spark and then there was IU's love poem, which
I'm-
we talked about.
I'm excited. Like,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna cry.
I am totally looking forward.
Mhm.
Ah, the
I love
vocal
both
lines.
of those
Mhm.
songs, so I'm gonna
I-
have a real
I love it.
practice next week.
And I like that it's because the theme was No Limit, so they've been bringing like guest performers in. So like I'm still waiting for 80s to bring in a whole orchestra onto the stage.
right?
And then I'm still
Right?
waiting
Like,
for
they
waiting for
said-
They
Kevin.
said,
Oh.
Tristan,
And I'm
they
like,
said
oh my
it was.
God.
They said it was a joke about the orchestra, but
I don't know.
it wasn't.
Please.
Did
And
you
I'm
all
also
see?
still waiting for Kevin to bring in Beyonce to Kingdom as well.
Did you all see this?
Okay.
Look at the comment from the chat.
I know.
Ah,
Someone
Cool.
cruel.
he
Someone
gets
cruel.
he gets so ribbed because of his height in Icon
But
and
he's-
by
I
their
know.
fans.
But he, despite that,
He's
he
probably
is
taller than
a
me.
gorgeous man. He's just
Oh, yeah.
a little
But still-
shorter than the members of SF9,
One-
as most people
One
are.
of my favourites is a fan sign where they put like a child's chair at the table for him to look even smaller.
Oh,
They're just like
that's just
legit,
mean.
like it's so funny.
We're seeing some
Like a
17
proper, like,
situation
toddler
now.
I always sort of laugh when like they're always going on about like, oh, this such and such idol is so short and so small and everything, and I'm just like, they're all taller than me. So I'm just
Exactly,
like,
they all
I
are.
am
All of
so
them.
small. Yeah.
I think Jinhwan, a lot of them who seem shorter, are like my height. I'm 5'6", so it's sort of like, you know, I'm
He's
average
taller
height
than
for
me.
a girl, but you know.
I'm 5'3", so they're all taller than me. Like,
I'm 5'4", so
Except for, how tall is
You're taller
Woozy?
than me.
no, Woozy is 5'6".
Woozy's like-
I actually looked it up
Woozy's taller
Oh.
than
because they're always like,
But,
oh,
you
he's
know,
such a
yeah,
small little
yeah.
bean, and I was
He's
like,
like next to Mingyu all the time.
I know.
Just looks
Exactly.
even smaller.
Anyway,
That's
all
so
right.
adorable.
So I guess we'll wrap it up for this week. And then we'll be back here next week to talk
Can
about
I
the
just
other
mention
half
one
of this.
more thing?
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Mingyu did say at one point that getting votes from the Hubeis means so much to them.
Oh yeah, I do
so
remember
Oh,
that.
keep
yes,
that in mind,
yes.
people of Twitter. I'm watching.
Yes, we're watching. Listen, I just gotta say to the people of Twitter who want to like start this fan war bullshit, your idols would be very upset with you.
Oh
Yes.
God, yeah.
Yes.
They all like
know
each
about
other.
that,
Fan
They
wars
all
are
like
like
each
the
other.
dumbest thing I've ever seen.
though.
We need to all be
It's
Bobby.
confusing.
It's like a lot of
though.
energy.
I'm too old for
It just
that.
Right. On that
All
note,
right.
on that positive note, and that schooling from Natalia. Look, thanks everyone for joining us this week. Thanks so much to Trish for hosting. I'm really happy to have. We got like 40 people watching live. This is our.
Yes,
we
thanks
haven't
to
had that many
everybody in the
people
chat.
before.
Thank
you everyone for your comments and making this show so interactive and so much fun to do. Later on this week, I'll be uploading the latest episode of Road to Hagdon, where we just went on a bit of a bender with our albums, and some of us actually got a really bad FOMO and bought some albums during the show, which was terrible. And we shall see you all back here same time next week for our wrap up of episode 8, getting towards the pointy end.
Yep.
Bye.
Fun getting there.
Bye. Take care.